Sifu has been making a lot of waves on Twitter. This guy, like him or not, he's kind of a troll, but he does respond to a lot of accusations by people quite actively on Twitter. He also, every time someone accused him something, he said, "Yeah, tell me what's up. Give me the proof of that." People were like, "How do you get $70 million in your account?" He was like, "Oh, all my trades are on chain. I traded it from 5 million to 70 million." So legit. So he's been defending himself quite a lot on Twitter. I recommend you go to his Twitter and talk about it. Now, again, I am not simping for Sifu. Now, there's a lot of people in the Wonderland community are starting to calm down a bit. Remember what I said about the grief cycle. People are now in the stage where they can see things clearly again. They want to see action taken to restore to our former glory. Now, here's a proposal by some of the time cops and Cheshire cats. I don't never know how to spell this, how to say this. Cheshire cats. Now, these are the high-level people in the Discord, in the Wonderland Discord. They're the mods, they're the moderators, they're people with power in the Discord. They banded together, and they have a proposal. They want to return Sifu to Wonderland. Now, obviously, they are biased, and obviously, I am not saying it's time to defend Sifu. I'm not saying. I always try to be impartial when it comes to things like this. When it comes to money, you have to be impartial. Now let's just read what they're saying about Sifu and what they want to do, why they want him back, their reasoning. So, let me put a poll first. While we read this, right? Don't answer the poll yet. Do you want Sifu back? Yes or no? Now I'm going to start a poll. So a lot of people, Sifu is quite charismatic. I'm not going to lie. This guy knows how to talk his way out or talk his way into people's hands. And a lot of people are still a big fan of him. I was a big fan of him before I know about him because he's so well knowledge in the Discord. He's very active on Discord, and I never really saw any wrongdoing, any sign of him trying to siphon things out. So basically, this summary here. Let's read it. So since Sifu anonymously appeared 2 years ago, he has been universally loved by everyone who has come to know him, and has made financial achievement in DeFi surpassing of most professional investment firms. Among other achievements, he was the founder of Wonderland and grew its highly profitable treasury to over $1 billion. That part is not really true because 300 million of them was leveraged, so it wasn't really $1 billion. Shortly after creation, Sifu felt it's important to reveal his identity to the Frog Nation founder, Danny. As it involved in stakes made in his youth, Danny decided to judge Sifu in the present rather than the past and accepted Sifu into the team. That is also a true story, based on what they say, what they claimed. Sifu voluntarily disclosed himself to Danny. I think the story was Danny never met Sifu until like that month. They only communicated online, and then they never met each other. So that was the first time they met each other, and they were fishing together, and that's when Sifu decided to tell Danny about his past, that he was involved in Quadriga, he was involved in several money scams in the past in the States. So naturally, Danny's a very trustful person. He trusted Sifu because of his present action rather than his past. Recently, Sifu's identity became known to the public, and in a possibly emotional reaction, was immediately voted out of his position in Wonderland. That's true because when you know somebody was involved in Quadriga, at that time, I admit I was also part of that person because I'm like, whoa, this person, if they rug Quadriga and did all these crimes in the past, he might rug all my money into the treasury, right? That's a natural reaction. But of course, as you know from my previous video, he apparently didn't involve much in Quadriga, but we'll get to that. The emotions of the moment were also flamed by two preceding unfortunate W memo cascading liquidation events. That's totally on Sifu. He and Danny, they were over leveraged and they weren't able to be up while the liquidation happened. So it caused a lot of frogs to get liquidated as well. People were pissed about that. However, with time and reflection on both the specific of his past and the achievement of his present, we receive a sentiment shift happening in the community. In that Wonderland community, I don't know about outside of it, although he's gaining a lot of fans on Twitter. I see a lot of people simping on him on Twitter. And desire to bring Sifu back in shape into Wonderland's future. We now propose to reinstate Sifu as a treasury and operations manager at Wonderland, continuing its former trajectory and success and benefit to Frog Nation. So basically, this is a summary. They want to bring him back as if nothing happened. We're basically saying we're going to forgive your past. We want you to prove yourself that you are a better man, that you're not going to rock us, that you can bring this project back alive. That's the proposal. Now, let's look at his past. Again, the summary of his past. When he was 18, he committed credit card fraud. He paid $35,000 of restitution. In 2003, he sold an early phone and digital currency on the internet to a group of youth who committed burglary, credit card fraud, identity theft. Man, so he did something in 2001 and then did something in 2013. That was when he was 18, and this is when he was 20. He did not commit nor was charged for those crimes, but was included in the arrest for having sold the digital currency for those who did. So selling, this is what you call a financial fraud. Accused of knowing what they would do with the cryptocurrency and as a consequence served 18 months in prison for conspiracy. This is important. He's part of the group that does this thing. So he served 18 months in prison. So as a disclosure, the person who made this proposal said he also did some shady stuff in his past, in his younger days. Now, of greater influence, Sifu was the co-founder of Quadriga, which I did a video yesterday about. You guys should check it out. The Canadian exchange that came under suspicion of various conducts. The title of co-founder was honorary, not formal, as Sifu was the large investor and advisor. That also fits into what I saw, what I read, is that he was more of a co-founder, like COO, more of a person who's trying to promote the project, try to grow the project, rather than operating the actual exchange. He was also an investor. He put large amount of money to get the co-founder title. Any misconduct that may have happened to Quadriga happened during the 3 years after Sifu left the company, due to disagreement regarding its listing in the stock market. That is true. I also went over that. Sifu wanted to take the Quadriga exchange to public, but the other founder, the guy who actually rocked everyone, said, no, I don't want to do it because I'm doing all this shady shit on the exchange. I don't want to go public. Because when you go public, everything needs to be transparent. Sifu did not like that. Sifu did not like the fact that he doesn't want to go to public, so Sifu left the company 3 years before this whole Quadriga collapse. The Canadian government extensive investigation of Quadriga did not implicate Sifu in any way. That's the whole report I went over yesterday. If you missed that on the stream, check it out on my channel. I did it all very extensive, look through the whole reports. Yeah, and they're correct. Sifu was not implicated because he and a lot of other executives left the company many years before this whole thing. The only formal Sifu-related allegation of misconduct at Quadriga is trading with customers' funds at BitMEX. This is actually true. So Sifu apparently traded stuff. That's the allegation. When Quadriga came under public scrutiny, BitMEX froze Sifu's funds to investigate their source. After 2 years of investigation by both BitMEX and FBI, the funds were legitimately determined to belong to Sifu and were returned to him. So he was clear of that wrongdoing, of that accusation. Very important. So basically the guy's innocent in the Quadriga thing. This is based on the findings of the officials. He did some crimes 20 years ago. So that's the background. On the question of whether Sifu can be trusted with handling users' funds today, it should note that at the time while managing Wonderland Treasury, and by necessity, Sifu held almost $500 million of Wonderland fund in his wallet. He could have taken those funds and rugged, but he did not. At the end of the day, as pertaining to his involvement in Wonderland and management of your capital, you need a clear statement from Sifu on his story. And here it is. This is a story from Sifu. As a youth, I made mistakes for which I am sorry for, which retribution has been paid. I was not, however, involved in anything illegal or unethical on Quadriga, period. I cannot change my past, but I hope that my action over the past 2 years demonstrate evidence for both trustworthy and capable citizens of this community. So that's Sifu's statements about his past. That's the official statement from Sifu. So based on the current evidence, I want to see the poll results. Alright, so 42% of you want Sifu back, while 59% don't want him back. Alright, let's keep going. Let's see if we, I don't know if you can change your vote middle of the way, but we'll see. So, what's happening with Sifu's present? Let's look at his activity presently, what he did for the treasury of Wonderland. If we inspect Sifu's activity over the past 2 years, we discover a journey of good citizenry and amazing financial achievements. So what did Sifu do before and doing Wonderland? In the early days of Pickle Finance, Sifu was an active community member and ended up suffering the largest financial loss in the Dai attack. In the midst of an angry community, Sifu was the voice of calm and compassion, asking people to be mindful that the developers are human, subject to making mistakes, and we're all beta testers in creating these amazing products in crypto. I don't know anything about Pickle Finance, but if you guys know anything about it, make sure you can verify this sentence right here. Sifu was the largest provider of coverage at Cover and was the largest investor and advisor at Ruler. Again, I don't know these two projects. Maybe they're like insurance, blockchain? I'm not sure. When Ruler failed and the project leadership left, Sifu sent the project $800,000 treasury to Andre with a statement, "I know of no more trustworthy person in crypto to hold these funds until the current situation is resolved." So apparently Sifu could have taken the money and run. What's particularly notable is that those $800,000 were to be distributed to token holders. Sifu invested $1 million in Ruler and could have considered those $800,000 as his own. But in favor of token holders, he took a loss.
Why not put the poll up after reading all this?
Oh, we will do a poll again. Thank you for the donation, Philip. I just want to see before reading all of this, what's the poll, and then after this we'll do another poll to see how much difference it is. So Sifu invested $1 million, and instead of just taking the $800,000, he sent it to Andre instead. So, you know, that's something an honorary person would do. He tirelessly helped Discord and Telegram user as a moderator since nearly the launch at Yearn, Cover, Ruler, Cream, and Pickle. Although a few of these got attacked or no longer exist. He was an advisor at SpiritSwap. I like SpiritSwap from Phantom. Revamped their farm economics, which led to 3x in token price. This guy knows what he's doing. He was an advisor at Morpheus, again another one, responsible for their V33 token. He was an advisor at Abra, contributing to the design of UST and Tricrypto CDPs, after which the Spell token price increased by 100%, 100 times. He was an early supporter and major liquidity provider near launch with nearly every major protocol in DeFi from Yearn to GMX. He grew his own wealth from 3 million to nearly 70 million in the public wallets, the activities of which are fully transparent on-chain for anyone to audit. Now this is important. This is one of the things that Sifu used to defend himself. People are like, how do you get $70 million in your personal wallet? Well, Sifu said he did the trading, he did the liquidity providing, he did all of that from the very beginning. And all of it's on-chain for you to verify. Again, that's a claim, and you guys can surely go to sifu.eth wallet and look through the history to see how he was able to grow it from 3 million to $70 million. He generously offered his time and countless people who follow his wallet needing help understanding the sophisticated investment he was making in DeFi so that they could also benefit from them. Yeah, so he teaches people how he was able to do these investments and for people who want to follow what he does in his wallet. He founded Wonderland, worked tirelessly in community support in Discord. I can verify that. He's there every single night to answer questions. Growing its treasury to over $1 billion with $300 million in leverage. And leading its first VC investment in BSGG, when airdrop, which in a span of month has 5x in value. It's low volume, it's not really public, so 5x, it's pretty debatable. It could easily go down because of the activity. If you look at BSGG, let's look at it for 1 second. BSGG is trading at 4 cents. It's been trading at 4 cents forever. So it had a nice pump, but then it dumped. So not much volume. It's only 16K in volume. So this price doesn't really matter. He donated 1.5 million of his personal fund to the treasury in order to help fulfill his and Danny's joint promise to repay back those who were liquidated under them. Still waiting for the repay, Danny. People were liquidated, still waiting for repay. Not me. It's debatable whether they should get the repay or not, but it's really up to Danny. They need to fulfill the promise. They're missing the promise right now. They need to fulfill some of their promises. Recently, he bought over $10 million worth of WMemo, reflecting his continued belief in the potential of Wonderland as a worthy investment. So that's true. I'm not sure about 10 million though. I didn't see 10 million. I see like 3 million. Maybe I missed some. But his wallet probably does have $10 million in purchase if you look at it. We'll see. But that explains the price rise in WMemo. Also the overall crypto market recovery. It would be hard to overemphasize the important impact he's made to the DeFi community over the past 2 years. Now this is what Sifu did, his past and his action while working at Wonderland. And now here's the reinstating Sifu as an operation and treasury manager. We believe the following are consideration involving reinstating Sifu as manager. Temporary public backlash. There will likely be some public backlash, especially from people unwilling to assess the situation in its full context and the mob tendency on social media. But this is a free market and nothing stops the Wonderland community from deciding to forge the best path it feels best leads to the flourishing of prosperity. People are definitely going to be pissed if Sifu does come back. It's not good for the project's brand because now you have a person. Again, I'm not a fan of traditional media, like the media in general. They're like, oh, this guy was in Quadriga. Why are you having him? But you look at the real story. He was cleared of Quadriga. That's the story. Investment performance. Will his past affect Wonderland's deal flow and the ability to make investments? Yeah, you have a name here, person with sketchy past, and his brand tarnished. His past will have no impact on his ability to invest the treasury in permissionless DeFi activity, from which we were previously earning $1 million a day. Can anyone verify that? I know this has been throwing around. Can we verify that we were actually making $1 million a day? What about VC deals? This is unclear, but we believe at the end of the day, partners will engage in mutual beneficiary investments in Wonderland, and that Wonderland's performance over time will solidify this credibility. Basically, money talks. If the money is involved and it benefits both sides, people may overlook Sifu and his past. Given the impracticality of investing from multi-sig Gnosis safe, funds at the past frequently flow between the Wonderland treasury and Sifu's personal wallet. It's easily verified on-chain that no improprieties, I can't read this word, arose from this activity, but moving forward, a separate wallet will be created so that there's no wallet commingling. I'm not sure what that does though. Who's going to control this new wallet? Return to progress and profitability. Wonderland will exit its current state of treading on certain waters and get back on track, delivering on the promises to the user, growing its treasury, investing effectively, and benefit its. We all want that. That's what we all want. We just want to get back on our feet before this whole liquidation cascade BS. Before this thing, remember we were at 100K per WMemo at some point. Look at this. We're 100K, man. I just want to get back to there. That's all I'm asking. I want to get back on track. I do think this is a good project and it should not be dissolved and throw away all the work. So that's the process. They want to pass a vote to return Sifu to Wonderland. Implement an exit option so anyone objecting to this path can redeem the WMemo at the backing value. So basically you can get out anytime you want. Hell, you can get out now, except the price is not at backing. Sifu returns to daily management of Wonderland operation and treasury management. Prioritize those areas of management previously targeted for improvement, including better reporting of treasury management activities, I agree. Development of performance dashboard, that's fine. Hiring a community manager, definitely need that. Sifu regrets the mistake of his youth, has apologized and paid retribution for them. As evidenced by the past 2 years, he has participated in our community and the DeFi community at large, in ways in which most of us could only aspire. Bringing Sifu back to Wonderland returns us to the path we previously knew, growing blah, 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 blah. Alright, let's bring Sifu back along with passionate community and treasury performance, in which we want to all participate, and make this greatest comeback in history of crypto. So this is the treasury. This is the proposal by some of the mods in the Wonderland Discord. Now, at this point, it seems like the votes are pretty even. 52% of you say you don't want Sifu back, and 48% say you do. Let's do another poll. After reading all this, do you still want Sifu back as treasury manager? Whoa. Oh, after reading all this, do you still want Sifu back? I want to see if you guys change your mind. This is the where we're at, and I'm not surprised. I'm 100% not surprised that this proposal is here. I was actually expecting. I was like, I wonder how long it'll take for this proposal to come up, and I wasn't surprised to see this at all. I can totally, I'm totally not surprised by this, based on some of the sentiments that I've seen in the Discord, on Twitter. People, like, there are people who are still in there, right? Myself included. I'd like to see this project go somewhere. Given that there are sketchy things happening, for sure, at the minimum, I want to get my money back. I don't want to sell at this price. I'm down like 90%. I don't want to sell. I want something happening. I need somebody to step up. You got the professor. You got all these other groups trying to step in. They all have the same problem, right? You got to dox them. And the thing is, I don't know their past performance. Sifu, I kind of know his past performance. I kind of know about this person. If anything, we know more about Sifu than this before this whole thing. He's now forced to be himself instead of this personality of this red panda behind the screen. So he's now forced to be transparent with everything. And he knows that we are all watching him like a hawk. So in a way, if you look at it this way, it's actually good for the community if he does come back. So that's something, it's like the thing, lessons in life, right? When you get punched, you got to get back up and you got to be better than before. That's how it is. At this point, we are getting punched and we're on the floor. So we need to do something to get back on our feet and continue on and grow and learn from the mistakes. So that's what I look forward to happening. Whether we have Sifu or not as the new treasury manager, I really want to see. And that's the thing about DeFi. It's very interesting. There is, bet your ass if this is a traditional market, there's no chance of him coming back. So speaking of market, look at the market. Market's doing good. Anyway, I really would like to know what you guys think about this whole thing. Yeah, it's very split. I think it's a very split Professor versus Sifu fights. It's like all the data is on chain. The problem is nobody wants to verify it. It's a lot of work. So yeah. Yeah, Zane. I guess you guys haven't realized it yet, but Sifu's the one executing stuff on Wonderland. With he gone, nobody executes shit. And that's why even with Danny around, nothing moved. Well, the thing is, they consciously made the decision to not move the treasury right now until we can find someone to move it forward. So nobody touches the treasury right now. It's just doing whatever it's doing right now. So what I'd like to see is we find somebody, whether it's Sifu or not, get back on our feet, start the BSCG airdrop, start the revenue share, and try to get the price back up. That's what I want. That's all I want. So that is it. So I hope, let's see, look at the, all right, you see how it's really funny. Look at the poll right now. So after this single article, they made some good points, and I can verify some of the things there, but there are some things here that you need to verify yourself. I will link this proposal in the chat. But it is funny how the sentiment changed now. There's 55% of you do want Sifu back, but still 45% of you don't want him back. So I just want the best for all of us, for everyone involved. I just want to get back on our feet. I just want to get back to the days of glory when we were making a killing, where the sentiment was great. But of course, there are things wrong with the project, like the rebases, the dilution, provided they did try to figure out ways to fight the dilution, but it's not really working well. So it is an issue with Wonderland currently still, so we need to figure something out. We need someone really smart to handle things. Crypto market, the drama never ends, so I really appreciate you guys for hanging out, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.